Hello and welcome to my creative castle. Yay, it's the Labor Day edition of Mondays with me. So I'm gonna be knitting with you today. I got some some knit picks we crochet shine sport in the color currant, which is described to me on the web. I had to look it up. I started working with it in the middle of the night. Y'all know, if you're a returning viewer, you know I got some insomnia, right? And so sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I won't be able to sleep. So I woke up at like 2 in the morning, stayed in bed for like an hour, hoping to sleep, right? And then I'm like, get up. So, because I was still awake. And that's time I can be crafting. At that point, I try to go back to sleep, but then I'm like, no, just get up and like start knitting, right? Or start crochet. Actually, I was working on some crochet for a little bit. I had a crochet project I wanted to wrap up. I'm doing some crochet behind the scenes for sure. You're gonna see it. It's showing up here real soon on the channel. But anyway, so when that's going on, I got other things rattling around in my head that I want to start, things that I'm like, gathering ideas for. And so I was like, I looked at like 3 different yarns for this project in the middle of the night. I'm wanting like kind of a sport to DK weight yarn for this particular project. So now I'll be honest with you, like, I did like a yarn review already on Knit Picks We Crochet Shine Sport, and I said it's like one of my favorite yarns and I could do my entire summer wardrobe with it. But I'm like, there's other yarns in the world, right? And so as somebody who does yarn content and knows that I should work with other yarns so that I can do yarn reviews, I'm feeling torn. I'm like, you should do this project in, okay, I looked at the cotton bamboo fair from Premier Yarns, and I have some in the house, and I looked at it in the colored cardinal, and I have some of the hobby rainbow bamboo in the house, I think in purple, and I looked at that, and I was like, oh, use those, and then you can start comparing them, and have more content. And I'm like, no, I like Shine Sport. So you know what, sometimes we just gotta go with what we like. So I am working with the color currant. At that time in the morning, I didn't even check to see what color currant. I think I was like, currant, that is either a dark red or a dark purple, right? I know that I have this particular yarn in the house in like 2 reds and 2 purples at least, but I couldn't remember what color currant was. And if you're a returning viewer, you know why. But if you are new to my channel for some reason, hi, my name's May. I love yarn. I love to knit and crochet. Those are my hobbies. And I also happen to have been born visually impaired, legally blind, and completely colorblind. So I mostly knit and crochet by feel. So, I like to find little knitting projects or crochet projects when, like, find a stop in my projects where there's no shaping and increasing and decreasing, so I can just come on here and chat and craft with you all. So, but anyways, the whole colorblind thing is, that's why I didn't for sure know what color currant was. And at that point, I was like, I think it's a dark red, but it could be a dark purple. I don't know. Sorry, I was going somewhere else with this thought, and then I got distracted by my own, introduction, and then I was going to go in that direction. I'm like, no, wait, finish your thought on the color thing. If you're a returning viewer, you also know that I can sometimes get easily distracted and kind of lose my train of thought when I'm chatting and crafting, and like, oh, over there, oh, that's interesting, talk about that, right? And then I don't always finish my train of thought. So that happens in my brain. It's a busy place, especially when you don't sleep very much, right? So currant, I just checked. I was like, you should get on the Knit Picks website. before you start your video and find out what color yarn you're using, because I do like to be able to describe the color for anybody else out there, right, who might be visually impaired or colorblind out there. I'm knitting in the round, by the way, if you are visually impaired. So I got 2 big circular needles. I'm knitting like a skirt, we think. I'll talk about that in a minute, but so far the waistband is done. We got some knit 2 purl 2 ribbing for an elastic casing. But I was like, you should get on the website and find out what color currant is to make sure, is it purple or is it red? Because I really can't tell. I love dark purple and I love dark red, but I really can't tell them apart from each other. And then the really dark reds and dark purples that I like the holly berries, the deep dark burgundies, I can't even really tell it apart from black some of the time. So this is described as like a deep dark violet red with brown undertones, close to a maroon, almost like a burgundy. I think maybe just a little bit lighter than a burgundy, and that is the reason why I do shop at Knit Picks and We Crochet, because they have the best color descriptions on the internet. So if you're colorblind or you're blind or you're visually impaired, too blind to see colors, I highly recommend you take a look at the color descriptions at Knit Picks and We Crochet. Even if you don't knit in crochet, if you've never seen color before in your life and you're like struggling to figure out, you know, like colors to put together and get good descriptions of colors, they're a great website just to go in and read like all the details of the colors. It's like, oh wow, okay, that's really helpful. And so so I love to shop there, and plus they have a number of yarns that end up being my favorite yarns. Even when I try to shop at other companies, I keep being like, I keep going back and choosing yarn from Knit Picks and We Crochet. So anyways, I don't totally know what I'm working on yet. Like, it's a waistband for a skirt. If you're a returning viewer, you know that I love to work on skirts, right? So anyways, sorry, I got a little message. If you're a returning viewer, you know I use a screen reader as somebody who's visually impaired, right? My phone talks to me and it reads stuff out to me. Got my earbud in, so you guys don't hear it, but I just got a message from the mister. He's coming out. Anyway, so I might get interrupted, not sure, but he might show up here. But you know, if not, we'll just pause the camera for a little bit or end the video. But anyways, I've just, you know, I like to design my own skirts, right? And so, but I sometimes design things completely on my own. Other times you've seen skirts where I've taken like pieces of, you know, like shawls or trims or things and put them on my skirts. And so like I like to combine knit and crochet. Like I like to do the top of my skirts knit and then put some crochet on the bottom of them. So that's what I'm thinking right now. This is going to be another one of those, right? A knit skirt with some crochet on the bottom. And I've seen a couple of designs where I'm like, yeah, I kind of think I want to put that on the bottom of my skirt, but I'm not totally sure yet. So I'm not really going to talk more about what's going on in my brain right now for a couple of reasons. One, I don't have a clue if I'm going to be able to do it yet, or if I've even got the math right yet for it. So let's just say that I've got the knit 2 purl 2 waistband done. You know that if you're a returning viewer, you know I like to make like a ribbed waistband with a turning row, and then we sew some elastic, right? We got some almost missed that stitch up there. I got some 3/4 inch elastic here. Got a big brand new roll of 3/4 inch. Oh, I just used it for another project, but a new roll of 3/4 inch elastic here that we'll put in the waistband of this. And so now I'm just on the stockinette portion before I do any shaping or increasing. And I'll do that for a little ways. And then we'll get down to a portion where we might put some crochet on the bottom of it. But I'm just not too sure yet, you know, exactly how this is going to work out. So I'm not going to say too much about it right now. And for a while, I'm going to be honest with you, for a while, there was a time when I was like, you shouldn't work on projects on your channel unless you really know what you're doing and you can describe it, and and in like, because as somebody who designs my own projects, I have a lot of ideas in my head and I don't always know how to like execute that idea, right? I'm like, how is that actually going to work out on the needles and the hooks? And so sometimes I try it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. It involves a lot of experimenting. It involves a lot of failure. It involves a lot of frogging, right? A lot of things that don't work out the way I thought they would. I don't really do gauge swatches because I can't see my stitches to count them and measure like my stitches. I understand stitches per inch in knitting really well. I don't understand stitches per inch in crochet as well, like the gauge. I don't have a good idea of that as well. But I understand gauge in knitting well in terms of like yarn, right? Like, okay, that's a DK weight because of that. I understand what my gauge should be in theory, but I can't see my stitches well enough to count them. So I'm like, So a lot of times I sort of cast on and guess and try it on as I go, right? That's how things work in my world. And I'm like, so then a lot of things get frogged and ripped out. So I actually have a top right now that I've started working on that I may or may not frog. So, I'm like, am I going to finish that top? It's on the needles. It's right over there. Yeah. Started it top down, doing something different that I've never done before. Like never, not even just not designed, like never really worked anybody else's pattern like that style of neckline before. Never really even seen anybody else design anything like that before. So I'm like, am I going to continue that, or am I going to frog it? I might just play with it some more before I completely frog it and then frog it. Don't know if I'll get back to it, but I just needed a break with it. And plus I've been doing a lot of crochet behind the scenes, but I was like, you know what? Just be real. Cause I'm, if you're a returning viewer, I'll just be real. I'll just tell you, right? Like, hey, so I start a lot of things that are ideas in my head that get frogged, that get ripped out, that, never make it. So I'm going to be honest with you about this skirt that we're working on here today. You might never see it or hear from it again. You might see me working on it today, and then I'm like, here today, frogged tomorrow, right? With any project that I'm working on, until it's like bound off, until like, the crochet hook is pulled out and it's knotted off for the last time. It could be like here today and frogged tomorrow if it doesn't turn out. I've frogged things at the bind off. I've knit projects where I've messed up the bind off, and I bought the bind off too tight, and I've frogged things at the bind off stage. Okay, I'm just telling you. So just because I'm starting something doesn't mean you'll ever hear about it or see it again. But we have high hopes for this project. We'll see. It's I love shine. I love working with shine sport. I think it makes gorgeous garments. I think the currant is a beautiful color. So I have high hopes for it, but I don't know. Plus, I've got so many other things going on in my head that I want to work on, that, I talk about the whole octopus fantasy, right? I want to be an octopus so I can work on multiple projects at once, and, life and energy, and, life interrupts things, right? This isn't even the video I was going to make today. But today, I believe this is my 150th video, by the way, okay? And at first I was like, let's do something different and celebrate. Let's get in the kitchen, right? And so I started that video, and then it's not going to be ready for Labor Day. I might be able to salvage pieces of it, but of course, you know what? We're not in control of everything in life, right? And that's hard. That's hard. But we're not, right? Like, this isn't my house, right? So, you know what? Things get interrupted, and that's just how it is, right? So that video didn't happen. I'm not happy about that, but it is what it is. It's frustrating, but I'm not going to let it steal my peace or my joy at all. I'm just going to keep crafting, right? Keep crafting. Do what brings me joy and happiness, which is touching my yarn, right? Playing with my yarn brings me great joy, great peace, great happiness. I can just lose myself in my yarn and in my crafting. So that's what I choose to do rather than, focus on the fact that my 150th video isn't what I thought it would be. I'm like, you know what? Just sit and knit. That's cool, right? Just sit and knit. So it is my 150th video. Nothing special out today. We're just going to craft. But that's okay because you know what? We just celebrated my 6 months on YouTube. I think that was my 141st video, was 6 months on YouTube. Super excited about that. We just talked about a bunch of my different projects. Anyways, I showed you the blanket, right? The baby blanket, and some of my shawls, some of my projects that we did together. So, you know what? At this point, we're just cruising for the 200th video, right? We're just going to keep on rolling. Life keeps on rolling. The river keeps rolling. The world keeps turning, right? Life keeps going. Can't slow it down. Life be lifing, right? That's what I always say. Life be lifing. And sometimes when you don't have control over everything, we don't have control of other people in this world, right? We don't. So other people have their own agendas, their own issues. We don't get to control that. So we just got to, make the most out of our life and what we have control over, right? And not let other people, get us like emotional or wrapped up into their drama. So I'm just going to keep stitching. That's what I do. So anyways, let me know how your Labor Day weekend was going. Did you get the day off? Let me know, because it's like a thing. In the United States, Labor Day is a thing. It's the 1st September in Monday. And it's a day where we celebrate our workers and stuff. So a lot of people get the day off. Government employees. I used to work at a state university, so I would get Labor Day off, but not everybody does, because if you work in retail, you're probably working hard, right? You don't get the day off. You work, and you get to help out those folks who have the day off, who are going shopping for a car or furniture or something big. Nowadays, a lot of sales around the internet. Who shop the internet sales? Yeah, I shop the Labor Day sale at Knit Picks and We Crochet. After I already spent too much money at the summer yarn sale. Yeah, I did. That's bad. It's really bad. But I keep telling myself, I'm like, you're investing in your YouTube channel, right? I just keep hustling. I just keep moving. I just keep doing my thing. And, keep showing up, right? That's what you have to do to have success in this world. You have to show up at least, right? And if you're trying, then you're ahead of those that are not trying. Right? I mean, there are people that can sit the rest of their life and complain and not actually do, or you can try, and even if you're not successful, you can know that you tried. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just showing up every day and sitting and stitching. So let me know if you shop the Knit Picks We Crochet Labor Day sale, which is, I believe, that goes on till September 7th. So you still got time. Yeah, you still got time to spend some money, get your hands on some luscious yarn. I even did a video on the Knit Picks We Crochet Labor Day sale. It's the whole thing is from last Thursday. If you missed it, it's there for your viewing pleasure. It's long. It is long because, I could just talk about their yarn all day long. They have so many of my favorites. I've made so many projects with their yarn. I'm like, ooh, and then there's this, and then there's this, right? So I could just talk about their yarn. So there is a video on my channel from Thursday on the Labor Day sale. You can still watch it. You can still shop the sale. It is a sale code that you got to put in 8LABOR25. Other yarn sites are having Labor Day sales. I thought about making more videos to cover them, but those sales are shorter. So I know Lion Brand is doing 30% off select yarns and kits, but that's only going on for a day, or you could still shop it on Labor Day, maybe a day more. I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't sleep on that one. If you got some yarns that you might want to get there, I would hit that one up on Labor Day. Premier Yarns is doing free shipping in the United States, I think for orders over $45 or something like that. I don't know the time frame on that, so check into, don't take my word for it. Go to the website and make sure those deals are still happening, because I did not do a lot of research on that. So, but there's definitely some good deals to be had. So let me know if you got the day off. Let me know what you're doing. What's your weather like? We have a heat advisory. I'm like, it's Labor Day. August is over. What in the world? We have a heat advisory. 90s. I was sure that we were done with the 90s for the year. I'm like, if we can get through this week, last week of August, we're good. We have a heat advisory until Thursday. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with that. We got like some upcoming highs of 99, possibly triple digits. I thought we were going to make it out of the year without triple digits. I don't think we are. It's possible we could. Maybe not, but even 99. If it's 99, might as well be like, yeah. Might as well like just say it, right? We made it to 100 degrees. So I don't know. I'm not looking forward to that. But you know what? It's one more week. We'll make it, right? Just drink fluids. If you're in an area where you're having that kind of heat, like mid upper 90s, 100 degrees, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. I know we like to say like stay indoors, but that's not realistic for everybody. Some people work outdoors, right? And you're working in a job, you're sitting in a car, you're driving, physical labor. Well, that's not realistic for everybody. So, but just stay hydrated, take breaks when you can. If you're an outdoor worker, get in the shade when you can, that kind of a thing, right? So, but if you have the day off, let me know what you like to do. When I was a teenager, I used to camp on Labor Day weekend with like my boyfriends or my friends or something. And then when I was in college, I had a boyfriend who lived on a lake. And so we would like fish and swim. We'd have friends over. We'd be grilling. We had a garden at that time. So we'd have people over and we'd like harvest our own corn out of our garden, and we'd have people over, right, to like pick corn and dig potatoes and catch fish on the lake. And then we'd do like a big old like grill the trout that we catch, and we cook it up with the potatoes and the corn out of our garden. It was good times, man. Those were good days. Those were some fun days. We'd swim and we'd fish, right? We'd go back and forth, like we'd fish for a while. If the fishing wasn't good, we'd just jump in the lake, right? If the fishing ain't good, you might as well just jump in the lake. So that's what we would do. We would fish till the fishing wasn't good, or till we were too hot or too bored or too whatever, right? Bring in some trout, go do some swimming, go get in the garden, go dig up some potatoes, go pull up some corn, shuck some corn, make a big old thing of food. Man, that was so good. So good. Fish that you caught yourself, corn and potatoes that you dug fresh. Nothing fresher, okay? Nothing fresher than your Labor Day meal than fish that you caught and corn and potatoes that you grew, that you just harvested. The meals were so good. So that's what I used to do with my Labor Day back in my 20s, right back in my college days. That was good times. So that's what I did. But right now I'm not living that life anymore, but that's okay. A lot of people still do that for Labor Day. A lot of people still go fishing. A lot of people still enjoy, like, what was from their garden. My parents are still harvesting their potatoes out of their garden, all that. So I'm trying to keep an eye on some things. I don't know if the mister's going to roll up on here or not. Disrupt the show. I don't know. So I'm going to just finish trying to pay attention to what he's up to. Anyways, I'll probably just finish this round. I might even not finish it because I don't know what's going on around here. But I'm going to do a little more knitting, little more stitching. You all let me know what you're up to. Let me know how you're doing, if you're having hot weather, if you're staying cool, if you're traveling, if you're like catching some kind of a show. Like, is there a music festival in your area? A food and wine festival in your area? Maybe like a county fair. There's still some county fairs going on up. I live in Washington State, if you don't know that yet. I live in Washington State, and so there's still like county fairs going on. So there's still plenty to do, right? In September, as I just said, we still got plenty of summer weather. So there's still lots to be done outside. Lots of ways you can still enjoy your last blast of summer. So I'm going to finish up this round with y'all, but you know what I like to end with in my videos. Creativity is for everybody, right? Whether you see or you see like me, which is not in color, or you don't see at all. Creativity is for you. And whether it's knitting or crocheting or sewing or quilting or beading or sculpting or painting or weaving or carving or whatever it is that you do today, it's a great day to craft and create. Look at that, look at that. We just did our 3 rounds together. A stock is going to be the stockinette portion at the bottom of our ribbing. We did it, y'all. We did it. Okay, you want to see it up close? Okay, there it is. This is like the ribbing on the waistband, and then we got a little stockinette going on there. I think it's still enough sunlight that I don't need to turn the light on for all ye sighted folks. All ye sighted folks. But that's what we got going on. Alrighty, my friends. Well, you have a great Labor Day. Be safe, right? Be safe, take care, and we'll be stitching here again real soon. So thanks so much for listening. Until next time, happy stitching. Bye-bye for now.